What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Outside Line Media Podcast. It's your boys. I'm Patrick.
Ryan, I'm Ryan. Get into it.
Yeah. Today we got a nice fun episode. We got some racing back. So we're gonna start off with the Clash at Bowman Gray, then move on to Bathurst 12 hour, and then we're gonna be talking a little bit about the IndyCar offseason because I don't know about you, Ryan, but I'm excited for this IndyCar season. I think it's gonna be a banger.
I can't wait longer. I'm so ready.
Dude, injected in my veins. I'm ready to see these cars turn fast and left.
Seeing NASCAR.
Oh yeah.
This last weekend, it really
slow and left this weekend, but yeah.
The slow and left was awesome, and we're about to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm always down for some slow and left. I'm always down for some dirt and left. You know, yes. Going fast on dirt and turning left, you need to turn right too.
Wise man once said.
All right, so let's get into the Clash at Bowman Gray. So just like overall vibes of the race.
I really enjoyed the Clash. I know a lot of people didn't want it to leave the Coliseum, but I think it was good for what it was, an exhibition. And I think highlight of the weekend, last chance qualifier.
100%.
Getting down near the end, it started getting a little like, come on, fellas, let's finish the dang race.
I mean, except for Ty Gibbs' performance. Like
Ty Gibbs had himself.
Bro, what were you doing?
He had a night.
I mean, he led a few laps, was doing pretty good. Got spun the first time, I think, and then spun himself out like 3 or 4 more times. Hot take, the incident at the end, I know it's a hot take. He spun himself there. He stayed in the gas. If he had come off the accelerator, I think he could have recovered that car.
Yeah, I think the spin started because of someone else, but he just kept his foot on it for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but...
Even though he was just lighting up the rears.
I think he was just pissed. I think he just...
What makes you think he was pissed? You know, the fact that maybe he crashed into the car as it came around?
Maybe because he sent his car airborne. That might have a thing to do with it.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit of a hint for it.
Yeah.
It was not a good main event for me. Great last chance quality because Kyle Larson came out with a great win there. What a move to take the P1 though. I mean, it looks like definitely it got backed off a little bit by Ryan. No, it was... Oh, why am I forgetting who that move was on? Josh Berry.
Oh.
Yeah. You know, it definitely looks like Josh Berry got out of it, but at the end of the day, to quote, who was it? That the quote just, that's just short track racing.
Yeah, short track racing.
Yeah, short track racing. That's
short track racing will forever be short track racing, and I do love it, and I like this weekend, and obviously I wasn't rooting for anybody. I was just trying to watch racing. I mean, I need it. I just went to the Rocks 24, but
shut up.
That got me started. I desperately need racing every weekend.
Yeah.
I hope the Super Bowl can carry me. I hope the Super Bowl can carry me to the Daytona 500. That's the only thing I'm looking forward to at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, go Eagles.
No. Go nobody.
Go nobody. But if I have to pick a side, go Eagles. I can't wait to see you guys burn the city down no matter what.
I wanted the city of Philadelphia to still be alive.
The Amazon Fresh store up there has already boarded up its windows, I saw on Twitter. Sorry, I saw it on X. I saw it on X. But
oh god.
Top 3 for the Clash this weekend. We had Chase Elliott pulling off the win. Led 171 laps.
Wild.
Yeah, absolutely wild for a short track race. Ryan Blaney got P2 with 0 laps led.
Incredible drive though, from last to second. I mean, that is because he got in on that whole most points scored last year.
Yeah, ran a couple shakedown laps, and that was it.
That car was there.
LCQ.
Yeah, ran a couple shakedown. Yeah, went till I think the second or third caution maybe?
Yeah.
He pulled in after. I mean,
realized it wasn't worth it.
Good job on the team to make sure the car was good.
And then Denny Hamlin down there in P3 with 28 laps led. Only other person to lead a lap was Tyler Reddick. So overall,
He
just
led a
a
whopping one
yeah.
lap, 15 seconds.
Overall, I mean Chase Elliott just with a dominant race victory at Bowman Gray. Too bad for him; it doesn't count for anything really. Exhibition race. That's the one thing. That's the one kind of complaint I have about it. I had the same complaint with IndyCar at Thermal last year, and just it's a mid track at best. But
Not wrong there. You're not wrong.
Bowman Gray, banger LCQ, pretty good race. Um, Overall, not really the NASCAR we're used to with 171 laps led from Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
I feel like definitely with these next gens as well, we're seeing a lot less dominant victories, and we're seeing multiple times the closest win margins in NASCAR history. So
Yeah, I really want to. I was decent at watching NASCAR last year, but this year I really want to lock into it. I think this race did what its entire purpose was, which was advertised for the NASCAR season.
yeah,
It's an exhibition race after all. It did good. I was already excited for Daytona 500, obviously, but now I'm like really hyped up for some NASCAR because, like you said, the margin last year. There's a couple races I missed, but I'd see the Twitter of the finish, and I swear it was every other week. It was like Lightning McQueen sticking his tongue out meme
yeah,
everywhere. It was crazy.
yeah. I think the season's gonna be a good one for NASCAR. I was following it somewhat last year. Definitely a series I need to keep up a little bit more with.
Lock into
Um,
this year. I'm very excited though.
yeah, we just need to figure out the TV schedule for that because it's like all over the place on all different networks and Amazon Prime for some of it too.
It's
So
okay. It's okay. We got them all. We got them all.
we got the Racing Line app. That's what the Racing
Yes.
Line app is for.
Yes.
And also, speaking of NASCAR, I love those like small super speedways, like those mile and a half, mile and a quarters, your Nashvilles, your Texas, your Kentucky. Bring back Kentucky Speedway.
Bring back
Got it
Kentucky
in.
Speedway. I
Got
didn't
it
know
in
where you were
nice
going
and
with that.
early.
I didn't know where you were going with that. I'm excited. We're already mentioning Kentucky Speedway. Please come back.
I mean,
Please.
look at just
Don't destroy the
the
track. Don't destroy our home track, please.
yeah.
Don't do it.
I
Don't
was
do it.
talking to somebody who's not even into racing today, but she lives like 10 minutes from the track, and she was like, "Nah, I mean, it really affects the economy down there.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, you have to think even if it's just one weekend out of the year, that's one weekend of jacked up hotel prices that are completely sold out." And then you take into account, I mean, I've seen multiple businesses down there that have closed now, and the buildings are just sitting there vacant. Like, I mean, it can't be good for Gallatin County, Kentucky, having
Oh,
one abandoned track down there. And there's actually a second abandoned track down there that's a road course country club that was, they tried to put in, and then the Great Recession hit. And
never happened.
I heard that wasn't good for,
Real
stuff
estate.
like real
Loans.
estate, motorsports, country clubs.
Construction in general, not
Yeah.
great.
So I mean, just sad times having both those abandoned tracks so close to us. But hey, maybe one day we get racing back at Kentucky Speedway. Somehow we blow up. If we blow up, I swear to you right now, if I can find a way to purchase it, we are purchasing the old Motorsports Country Club and we're getting a track built there. We're going Cletus McFarland on this, except instead of buying a finished track, we're buying an unfinished track that's been
What could go
abandoned for
wrong?
15 years.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Oh,
But yeah, overall it was a pretty good one. I think a race at Kentucky Speedway would be even better. But that was yeah, overall good race, I think. Ryan, final thoughts on the Clash before we go over to the Bathurst 12?
no, I think, as I said, I liked it. It got me excited for NASCAR. It did its job. I don't hate that it's an exhibition. I think everyone raced like it was an exhibition. Even, Kyle Larson making comments of, I don't want to do something tonight driving that would make my Daytona 500 harder kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was in consideration. People weren't trying to
get crashed out at Daytona.
Yeah. So I liked
Well,
it. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm really excited for us to cook up our Daytona 500 predictions for next week's episode.
brother, I'm gonna cook.
I am also going to be cooking in the kitchen.
All right, we got the Bathurst 12-hour, and we were a little bit spoiled with the Daytona 24. This was just kind of your standard endurance race at the end. It was about a 10-second gap, which isn't bad. Isn't the best though. But I will take it. Bathurst is just a cool track to watch cars go around.
I mean, I think this tone was set in that race. They kind of got their craziness out of them instead of waiting to do their craziness, because the first lap they were 3 wide up the mountain. What are we doing, fellas? Long race to go. All of it. There was that scary crash, car up in the air.
Yeah, right there at Skyline. That was
there was exciting moments. I watched a decent amount of it, but I also was out and doing things that night, so I was falling as I could. But I definitely saw the highlights and everything, and there was some good moments. I remember the car got backwards into the sand, and it was literally dumping sand out of the aero, like bodywork, for like a lap. It was kind of hilarious to watch. Like it actually went in backwards, and it filled the
roads. There's new iRacing physics that introduced gravel on the track. They finally hit real life. iRacing ahead of the curve as usual.
Oh no, it was just I didn't realize how long it would dump out of the car.
That
that's something I had seen.
Bad day, not bad, but P2 day for me.
Can't be too upset about that.
No, I mean I can't complain. Team WRT took a 1-2 in the pro category. I was cheering for Team WRT, but the number 46, which got P2, number 32 with Farfus, and both the Vanderlands got P1. I'm just going to say it, Valentino Rossi in the 46, amazing race at Bathurst. I know he's got experience in the GT category, but I mean, dude's like 45 years old, I think, and he can wheel. I mean, it's kind of consistent against the people that go from 2-wheel racing to 4-wheel racing. I think you're a little bit more scared for your life on 2 wheels, so 4 wheels just kind of seems like a walk in the park for you.
Yeah, no, it is the translation. You did a great job. I mean, second place. You cannot be upset about that.
Yeah.
You just can't. In a 12-hour race. In third,
only 10 seconds off the pace, too. But
yeah, 75 Express behind him. I mean,
yeah,
good drive.
Good drive from them with the Mercedes.
Lauren Heinrich and ended up second in Pro-Am.
Second behind Arise Racing GT, which was a Ferrari 296. Good race from those guys. They were only 3 laps off of the lead, the pro class, so not bad at all for them.
Yeah, that's very
bronze class. Let's just talk about bronze, dude. 1 lap off of the pro class.
Yeah, that was very impressive.
Heart of Racing though in their AMG GT3 Evo, really good race from them. They did a great job just kind of controlling that race all the way through. Heart of Racing always has some really good drivers that they're signing, but I'm looking forward more to the Aston Martin Heart of Racing than the AMG Heart of Racing.
But Heart of Racing will be Heart of Racing. So.
Heart of Racing's Heart of Racing. They heart racing.
Bars, straight bars, yeah. But overall, I think a pretty good race. Coming off the Daytona 24, it's good to keep the endurance train going. But
yeah, it was good. Is that just that was just the Winter Series, wasn't it? No, that was Intercontinental GT.
Yeah,
that was ICGT. Great race. I mean, they always put on a great race. SRM Motorsports is the promoter for that series. They know what they're doing when they're promoting a race series. They know how to run a race.
Definitely well run.
Now into what?
You got any other final thoughts about that, or? I mean,
it was a good race. I mean, 12 hours. Didn't watch the entire thing. I mean, it was kind of it was all overnight for us, so kind of rough to try to watch all 12 hours of it. But watched what I could. It was a good race. ICGT always has some good races, though. So, I mean, kind of exactly what I expected.
Yeah, nothing surprised me that much.
Yeah, a little less exciting than the Indy 8 hour when you had racing a penalty at the end and a finishing margin of less than a second, but
yeah,
can't have that for all endurance races.
Yeah, I've kind of been blessed with every endurance car race I go to being kind of crazy.
Yeah.
With being the Indy 8 hour and the Daytona 24 this year.
Yeah. And we've got, three more? No, we've got one more endurance race this year that we're going to be at Indy 8 hour.
Indy 8
hour. And we've got some of the non-endurance IMSA rounds that we're going to be at as well.
Yes.
So those will be fun. Next up, we've just kind of got some IndyCar off-season news. So, going to be looking at a couple liveries, looking at some driver transfers, and then we've got a special last prediction at the very end of the podcast. I think you guys are going to like it.
Beautiful question, cooked up by Patrick himself.
But let's just start with liveries. Starting off with the Andretti boys. I have to say, I mean, Colton's looks the exact same.
Yeah.
Colton's is Colton's. It's always going to be that really nice black, yellow, and white game bridge. Love the car. Don't fix it if it ain't broke.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That Chili's car.
You, that damn Chili's car.
Dude, Kyle Kirkwood. Oh.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I can't
hope
say
that stays for more than just St. Pete. It is
beautiful.
It is a banger livery. And then finally, I just love the classic Bryant heating and air, dude.
You can't.
Marcus Ericsson's got a great car there.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. I mean, I think everything's overshadowed by the Chili's, in my opinion. I can't tell you how much I love this Chili's livery, but I mean, damn good livery too.
Damn good livery. Next up, we've got Scott Dixon's livery back with PNC Bank with a more fire livery than last year, I have to say. The front wing on this car, dude. That's all I gotta say.
I think they didn't change it that much, like overall how it looks, but they changed how it looks.
Oh yeah.
It's subtle, but I like. Well, actually, it's not really subtle, to be honest. Kind of up there, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, they just added a little bit more of like a geometric transition to it, and it looks fire.
I like it. I'm a fan. Cannot go wrong.
No, definitely can't go wrong.
Yonkos we got.
Look, it's basically the same, but I like the gray.
Yeah,
I like the gray on Connor's car.
Yeah, I can't complain about these. Oldie but goodie.
Yeah, I think Stingray's is basically the same as Grosjean's was last year. Maybe a little bit more gray in it. But
maybe a little more gray.
I mean, Juncos, I always loved that livery. I just didn't like the people I had to cheer for, and now I've got two great drivers to cheer for.
1.5.
Speedway Bob is an amazing driver, and you can't change my mind. He just needs the right environment to prosper, and Juncos is going to bring that to him.
All right. I'm here for it.
He's got Connor Daly as his teammate now, which means he's going to get shit-talked on the podcast if he doesn't do well at a race. That's his inspiration for doing well now.
That's what keeps him going. He gets him out of bed every day.
Yep. Joseph Newgarden's Penske for, I think, the first few races at least. Penske kind of changes their liveries around a decent amount between him and Scotty Mack. Which I think Scotty Max is dropping in a couple days. I think I saw something about it.
Cool.
But PPG, can't go wrong with it.
Yeah,
it's always a banger livery. Pretty much the same exact.
Yeah, it doesn't look much different. Do like it though. I can't complain.
It's a good always livery. Loved like the paint streaks coming off of it.
Yeah, the liveries I think this year are. I haven't had one that I like absolutely hate, to be honest. Like,
yeah,
I kind of like all.
I don't know, dude. We'll get to that last one there. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of it. I'll have to look at it a little bit more.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alex Palo's DHL.
Alex Palou. Oh, it's beautiful. Another beautiful change. It's great.
They changed it a decent amount this year too. A
The
lot more
wing,
red.
once again, the wing is phenomenal.
Yeah, and just adding that geometric pattern to it, I love me a good geometric pattern on a race car,
It does tickle my brain when I see geometric patterns on fast-moving objects.
dude.
What can I say?
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a lot more red on this car than there was last year, isn't there?
A lot more what? You
A
cut
lot
out.
more red.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's
I don't think the whole
there.
cockpit and nose cone was red last year. I could be wrong, but
I agree with you, but I also could be wrong.
yeah.
They are fast-moving objects. Most time we watch them, they're going.
I also do always love their June livery. The Pride DHL car is actually a fire livery. I love it
Fire
so much.
design. Fire design. No, yeah, it's beautiful.
Will Power with a new look this year. Same sponsor, new look, Verizon. Like, I love it.
I wish the wing was a little different, but other than that, I really like it.
The wing kind of gives a little McDonald's.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's gonna beat like the old Verizon livery. I think that's always gonna be my favorite. But it's a good livery. I think this one might be a bit of a downgrade from last year, in my opinion. Still a good livery, but also his black and red Verizon car when it was the Verizon IndyCar series.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that one was one of my favorites.
Chef's kiss, beautiful. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it might be a downgrade from last year. I still like it though. I still think it's a good livery, but maybe a little worse than last year.
Yeah.
Maybe some changes make it better. Maybe they'll tweak it. Who knows?
Yeah, and now we got this Cars 2 looking NASCAR from Prema. Whatever his name was, the F1 driver in Cars 2. I mean, it looks exactly like that. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that livery.
Yeah, no, the memes are great. I like it though.
Yeah,
I do really like it.
It's a very Italian livery.
It looks like Prema's car, which is what it should look like. So, I think they did a good job. I'm really excited.
I think they're really missing out if they don't have a Castrol sponsorship at some point. I mean, that car, you could keep the livery the exact same and slap a Castrol logo on the side, and it would look like a Castrol fully branded car.
It really would. Yeah, that's free marketing right there. You only have to pay for part of it, and you get all of it.
Yeah, just pay for a little logo, and it looks like the whole car is themed for it.
Beautiful. I like it. I give it a solid.
All right, now this is the livery I'm conflicted about. Devlin DeFrancesco's for the first 8 races, I think. Look, Ray Hall Letterman Lanigan's a privateer team. I'm not gonna fault them for taking whatever sponsorships they can get. But come on, guys. This is the only livery that I feel just towards.
I don't think I looked at this one for long enough.
I don't really feel hate, but the colors just they aren't there.
It's not great.
Like, maybe if you kept, like, I don't like the 2 different blues. I really love the shiny blue with the lime green under it. But then you've just got this, like, pastel baby blue on there. Like, keep that shiny blue going along that whole car and it would look banger.
Yeah, I don't know what they were cooking there in the kitchen.
I mean, they can cook up good liveries. Like, look at Graham Rahals at Laguna Seca. That gold Mobile One livery that he had, one of my favorite IndyCar liveries of all time.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, hopefully they change it. I think I agree with you. I think I was wrong in my earlier statement of I didn't hate any of them. I do hate one. I do hate this. I
think
the more you look at it, the worse it gets.
Yeah, I think maybe in person it could look a little better, but I'm not too confident.
Hopefully it's just a rendering issue and the coloring looks a little weird.
Yeah, that's hopefully. I don't know what you're doing. I mean, we'll talk about Devlin later. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that car. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, look, I get a lot of hate being Northern Kentuckian in the greater Columbus area-ish. Dude, I wasn't prepared the first time we went to Mid-Ohio. I've always been a Graham Rahal doubter, I'll call myself. He's never been my favorite driver. Nice guy, just not one of my favorites. I don't think he's an amazing driver. Um, the amount of Graham Rahal fans that are in Columbus, dude.
They roll deep. They roll deep in Columbus at Mid-Ohio.
I mean,
Wow.
like, legitimately might have been equal with the Pato fans.
They were battling. The numbers were close.
Yeah, like, any of the, like, young people that were there were Pato fans. Any of the old people were there that probably watched Bobby Rahal race, which Bobby Rahal, amazing driver, fantastic driver. They were all Graham Rahal fans. And just walking by the motorhome rows at Mid-Ohio and seeing Graham Rahal flags, I'm like, oh, got to quiet down a little bit.
Yeah, you can't pipe up too much about that team, but yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I mean, I know he can run a team. That's the thing. Like, his Ducati team in Moto America is, mwah. Like, I mean, amazing riders, and they do amazing, so I just don't know what's wrong with the IndyCar program, man. They just gotta fix it. I'll be a Graham Rahal fan when he and his dad and all the other shareholders in RLL stop getting the FBI called on them, because we still haven't figured out what went on with that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's not like what was going on?
And I mean, like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. They just need to fix it. They need to get back competitive. I mean, hey, I'm hoping bringing on these new sponsors, it gets them to a point financially where they can compete. But I'll believe it when I see it, guys. He's got Fifth Third backing. It's one of the largest banks it's probably the largest bank in the Cincinnati area. And I mean, it's a national bank.
Tell me why my gut instinct was to pull out my debit card.
Yeah, can you show the front and the back of that?
I can show you the front. I can't show you the else. The front doesn't have numbers on it.
Hey, I mean, it works now. It's not split in 3 different pieces.
Yes, I did. Shout out Fifth Third, by the way. Thank you, Fifth Third, for finally giving me a tap card. Maybe I am a Graham Rahal fan.
Graham Rahal, that actually, he's the reason why you couldn't get a tap card, because there wasn't an ROI there.
You're right.
Yeah, let's talk about driver transfers. It was kind of a wild offseason for IndyCar this year. We had 12-ish driver transfers. I've got Nolan Siegel in there because he was only in that McLaren for the last few races. But he is staying with McLaren this year, as far as we know, as long as he doesn't break his wrist and that seat turns into a revolving door of drivers again.
Yeah. It's good. That team's going to continue to be its team, I believe. But I'll get into that.
Yeah, I mean, you've got TK that's running the team now, and he was kind of the driving force behind all those transfers. Look, I love TK. I'm a TK fan. What the hell, man?
Yeah, I don't know what brother's cooking. Not going to lie.
And, like, I mean, Nolan's a great kid. Driver-wise, I hate saying it because he is a really great kid. But I just don't know if he's got what it takes to be in a McLaren.
Yeah, definitely going to be
I think Teddy Porkchops would have been a better option long-term. Teo Porcher. I think I should clarify just in case.
No,
us Americans love giving people nicknames like Chuck Leclerc.
Chuck Leclerc. So who do you have, Patrick, for we're gonna do 3 hit the apex, 3 miss the apex for driver transfers. So Patrick, let's start with hit. Let's be positive. No, yeah.
Let's do our number 1 back and forth. 1 for 1, 2 for 2, 3 for 3. Or let's start with our third. Let's start with our number 3 for hit the apex.
3 is in 3, 2, 1. We're going.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, third. All right.
I got Jabel. I think Jacob Abel for number 3 hit. Number 3 hit. I think Brother's gonna cook. I'm a little nervous with him being in a coin machine, but I think with the Michael Cannon stuff going on and the rumors that he's going to coin, I've got confidence in that kid, man.
Yeah, I also had
Oh, it's
Jable.
number 3?
That's my number 3.
We did these blind. We did not see each
Yeah,
other's predictions on this
yeah.
one.
So yeah, I did this blind. I agree completely. I am very excited. This I was obviously my hit the apex for the year,
Yeah.
but I also, as just a pure transfer, obviously it is still Dale Coyne.
Yeah.
Not.
I mean, hey, I think he's in a better spot than
But
his teammate currently.
yeah,
TBA, I mean, TBA, no race wins. Don't even know how he made it onto the IndyCar grid, man. He has no record in the IndyCar, like, feeder series. I mean, we'll see who drives that car, though. Number 2 for Hit the Apex, Ryan. Who you got?
I got Louis Foster at
Okay.
RLL. Coming off a great NXT season,
Dominant.
obviously.
Dominant.
Ray Hall, same kind of thought as Louis Foster.
That's the only down spot there.
But I think he can drive the hell out of anything he's given. And
Yeah.
I know we both listened to Jacob Abel talking about IndyCar and on the off track, and it definitely, he was like, yeah, it transfers pretty easy, especially with the tires. So I think they're both gonna be fine. They both drove great in NXT.
Yeah.
Louis Foster is better than Jacob Abel. I mean, Louis Foster was dominant.
I mean, it's not like Ray Hall's a bad team per se. They just aren't fighting for wins. They aren't consistent. That's the issue.
Yeah.
I mean, they won a race as soon as I think 2023 was their last win, maybe. But I mean, yeah, it's a good team. It has its moments. I'm nervous with coming off the back of such a dominant Indy next season, being worried about once he kind of hits that downturn that will inevitably come driving for RLL, what it's going to do mentally to him. That's really my only downside with him.
Yeah, I think the adjustment will be hard for the pace of the car, but
yeah,
I think he'll do good still. I still am very excited, and we'll see. So who's yours second?
I had Rossi at ECR. I think, again, ECR, everybody's kind of shitting on him. I think especially with that Splenda, Java House, whatever that parent company is for those, I think that deal is going to be huge for them, and I think we'll see them be more consistent with that funding that seat's bringing. And being able to just have consistent sponsorship other than, and not trying to figure out their sponsorship mid-season. It lets them focus on racing instead of the business side of it.
Yeah.
I think that'll just be good.
Mine's in the right place for sure. Yeah, I like it. Excited for that.
Number 1.
You guys are number 1. You go ahead first there, Patrick.
I got David Malukas. I think Foyt's been cooking lately. All you have to do is you look at Santino, Ferrucci's Indy 500 results, especially. I mean, the team's doing great on the ovals, and I think that Penske partnership, that technical alliance, is just going to keep getting them closer and closer on the road courses. I mean, shit, Ferrucci had a pole at Portland this year. I think you take David Malukas' consistency that we see from him, I think that car's fast 12 every single race.
Okay. I like it. I agree. I'm also very excited for that.
Yeah. What you got for your top?
I got Marcus Armstrong to Meyer Shank Racing.
Okay.
I like it. Obviously, when I first started watching IndyCar, I just chose Marcus Armstrong.
I remember that day, dude.
I just chose him. It's that simple. Obviously, I'm still always going to have love for him in my heart, even though I root for people. And I think he's going to do great in Meyer Shank. That's fast car. He'll be fine.
Yeah. You've got an experienced teammate there with Felix, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he needs a ton of that experience, but I think having a teammate that's been in that team, that's more what matters the most. But I mean, we saw with David last year, he was able to jump in that car and immediately get results.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be the same with Marcus. I 100% agree with that. I wanted to put him on my list somewhere, but I had other ones that ranked higher for me.
That's so fair. All right. Miss the Apex, Mr. Patrick. Who you got as your number 3? Miss the Apex.
You guys know I'm a Prema hater, Prema doubter. I shouldn't say hater. I'm more of a Prema doubter. I want them to do well, but I don't think they will. I got Callum Ilott as my number 3, Miss the Apex.
Okay.
I don't know why I went with him over Schwartzman. Spoiler alert, Schwartzman's not on my list. I think Schwartzman is pure pace, a faster driver. Um, but he also doesn't have IndyCar experience, which does make me a little bit nervous for him. But I mean, yeah, just the vibes aren't there with Prema, man. It smells of mismanagement to me.
I see what you're saying, but I don't think
There's
the
a
team's
short on
bad.
our Instagram and YouTube of me going on a whole rant about
Yeah,
Prema.
he's not
There's the
exciting.
backstory.
I disagree, but I respect your opinion.
Yeah.
The mismanagement, that's black and white. There is clear
I
mismanagement.
mean, you're used to that.
But
You've been a Ferrari fan for how long?
exactly. You don't understand how mismanaged a team can be and still get results. You really don't understand how thin the walls have to be.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte was
Okay.
challenging for a championship at the beginning of 2022.
The walls can be real fucking thin. That's all I'll say. All
Then we
right.
just have to look at Monaco. What was that? Was that 23?
Moving on.
Who
My
you
my
got for number
my number
3?
3, Stingray Rob, Speedway Bob. I'm not the biggest Speedway Bob lover, some would say. I like the memes. The memes are great. The
Yeah.
man is a moving roadblock, unfortunately.
We witnessed it in person in Nashville.
And I think it's going to happen once again. It's Yonkos. It's Speedway Bob.
Yeah, but it's a bright green car, not the. Hey, he did say hopefully he gets to run the polka dot car at some point. Not the polka dot car that Connor Daly's going to run. That's actually for the polka dot company.
Put some strobes on top of his car.
But,
blinking lights.
Yeah, he's gonna run the Goodhart car again at some point. He said, hopefully.
Okay.
So
it's fire livery, but yeah, not. I don't think he's gonna do that great this year.
I'm just gonna get it out of the way real quick. Speedway Bob's my number 2. So same reasons basically. I don't have faith in that project.
My
Ryan,
number 2
who you got number 2?
I got Devlin DeFrancesco on my 2.
Just pure vibes for him.
Yeah, I'm not a big Devlin fan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's going to do great this year. I don't have much more to say than that. I don't have empirical evidence to back it is the vibes at the end of the day.
All predictions are vibes.
I'm predicting not great.
Yeah, my number 1's Devlin DeFrancesco.
Number 1, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you heard me talk about RLL earlier, how nervous I am with their consistency. Pretty much just double that when I'm talking about Devlin DeFrancesco. He's a driver that's already lost his drive at least once, maybe twice, in IndyCar. And I mean, yeah, it might have been funding related, but also at the end of the day, the results just weren't there for him.
Yeah.
I don't think he did great. I don't know, man. Just the vibes aren't there. I think seeing him on the sidelines and someone like Renus VK not having a drive, just not a fan of it, man.
It kind of hurts. It kind of hurts seeing stuff like that.
And Linus Lundqvist too.
Linus, yeah.
Both of them. Like, bro, come on. Linus more so than Renus even, but still, man, it sucks to see. Who's your number 1, Ryan?
I got number 1. I'm ready for this. Christian Lundgaard.
It's a hot take.
I think the McLaren is just going to continue to be a revolving door. I think he's a good driver, but I just think he's in that caliber of driver where you're good, but McLaren's going to think you're bad and you're going to get dropped.
Yeah, like they couldn't wait like 2 more weeks for David Malukas. Sure, they regret that now.
Yeah. That's my number 3. I'm not.
Now that he's basically a Penske boy.
Yeah. He's on his way. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. And I mean, I'll cheer for Penske, but I am a Scotty Mac fan. I actually
cheer for Penske.
I used to be a Joseph Newgarden fan, actually, when I first started getting into IndyCar. Then the whole cheating push to pass thing happened. yeah, then I just kind of lost all respect for him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's
Sad
not
day.
like you're going to notice when you're pulling away that fast from other cars. You can't tell me that you didn't know that something was up. Like, I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah, no, that
And
was
don't cry at a press conference about me calling you a liar, Joseph, all right? Man up and take responsibility for it. I act like he's going to watch this.
Gotta always be ready. You don't know where Newgarden will appear. He might be.
Oh, he's right behind me, isn't he?
My God. All right, Patrick, you got a little bonus question, I hear.
Yeah, so it was a joke question in our predictions podcast of how many drivers we think are going to be in the Dale Coyne car this season. So I decided, let's predict who's going to be in that second seat at Dale Coyne for St. Pete. I think this might end up being a every race prediction who's going to be in the seat.
Go on.
But yeah, Ryan, who you got in the seat this year for St. Pete at least?
Jacob Abel's going to be there all year, baby. All year. All year.
Who do you? I mean, look, I have to go off of it just because I rate him so highly as a driver. Linus Lundqvist. Dale, if you don't sign Linus Lundqvist, what are you doing, dude? Like, come on.
I took this the wrong way. You mean who's the second driver? And I just said Louis. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Linus.
It's probably not going to happen. I don't know if he brings the funding that he needs, but
we can be Delulu.
Yes, we can. Dale Coyne also just doesn't have any technical alliances. If they had a CGR technical alliance, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah, Linus is definitely in that seat. But how Kiffin Simpson has a seat and Linus Lundqvist doesn't is kind of
crazy. Anyway, Bob Linus doesn't. Yeah, I mean, wild.
Oh, I went Kiffin even. Like, I mean, Kiffin's not a bad driver, but I think Linus is a better driver. Is what it is, though. That's racing.
That is racing. It's
one of the big problems with racing. That's why Lance Stroll still has an F1 seat.
Ours, brother. Part of the sport.
Part of the ship, part of the crew.
Love it or hate it's going to be here.
Yeah. So, yeah, just a little bit of a recap and a little bit of fun today. Predicting some of the stuff going on in IndyCar and then just kind of reacting to some of the stuff that has happened. We got Super Bowl this weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, the playoffs are so much more fun when the Bengals are in them.
Playoffs are so much fun when the Chiefs aren't in them. Period.
Ryan, it's been too long. I don't remember what that's like.
It's horrible. Look what they've done to my sport I love. But yeah, we just gotta get through this one more week. Super Bowl next week. Got Daytona.
Then we got IndyCar coming up soon.
We're back. We've made it.
We made it through the off season, guys.
We've made it. We're here.
Hey, shout out with it being NASCAR season right now. Shout out Laps Down.
Yes,
great podcast to listen to all your NASCAR stuff on. It's actually how we recapped the Clash before this episode. Yes, kind of got some of our facts straight. So
good little brain refresh.
Yeah, overall, good week in motorsports this weekend. It was a fun one. Next week, we're going to be coming at you with 2 podcasts. I already forget what they're about. But
Daytona 500 predictions.
Daytona 500 predictions. That's the I guess we'll do that. It's the first episode, so that'll be like a Wednesday episode around there.
Yeah.
Wednesday or Thursday episode. Yeah, just overall, it's going to be some vibes. We'll be coming at you guys with the Daytona predictions. Kyle Larson's winning every single race this year. I'm ready for it. Yeah, let's get it. Let's have a good season, and thanks for watching. Hey, down in the comments below, let me know who you think that Dale Coyne driver is going to be. And you know what? Let me know how many drivers you think are going to be racing for Dale this year. Ryan, any final words?
I got nothing else. Boogity, boogity, boo. Let's go racing.
Let's go racing. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start Start your engines.
God bless engines. Take care, y'all.